is a genetic condition, and it causes thick, sticky mucus to get in places such as the lungs or the pancreas, and it can also get in the reproductive system. Most of the time it affects males more than females in the reproductive system. The thick, sticky mucus causes infections in the lungs, and then it's a cycle. The infections then in turn cause damage, which just gets progressively worse over the years. There is no cure, so that's kind of not fun. But with all the new technology and new medicines that are out there, it used to be a childhood disease. No one would live past the age of like 10. And now with all the medicines, the average lifespan is 41, which is very hopeful. I was just, sick as a child. Kept going to doctors. They kept saying, "Oh, you got some of the signs, but you can't have that," because I didn't have the pancreatic issues, that cause you not to be able to gain weight. So over the years, keep getting sick, putting me on antibiotics left and right. So I think I was 25 and I got like really sick, like sicker than I had ever been in my life. So I went to a lung specialist. This time he sent me to an infection specialist. So it comes back that I had staph in my lungs. So 8 weeks of IV antibiotics go through and I don't feel any better. And I'm like, okay, something's not right. And they're like, no, you just need 2 more weeks. I said, no, I want a second opinion. So my second opinion got me to Morgantown. It was just an infection specialist like I was going to here in Wheeling. She took one look at my medical history and she's like, I want to do some further testing. I'm like, okay. So they did the genetic testing for cystic fibrosis, and it came back that I actually had both mutations and I had cystic fibrosis. I have a rare mutation, and like I said, I don't have the pancreatic issues that most people do. So I have it, they just didn't catch it here. I started running in middle school. Like I liked track. I did track and I did like the relay teams, and I did the 400 meters and the 200 meters was my favorite. My lung function started to decline when I got into high school, just a little bit, but it started to bother me. And at that time I didn't know what was wrong. And I was like too afraid to keep on running in school because I was like worried something was gonna happen. So I actually quit the track team in high school. But then I decided, I don't even know, I just decided again that I liked it. And I'm like, okay. So I just wanted to keep doing it. And now that I know what's wrong, it's like better for me to do it anyway. Back in 2015 is when I found obstacle course racing. And I had no idea if I'd even be able to do it. So I looked it up on the internet and I'm like, oh, that sounds really neat. I think I would like that. I had had lung surgery, a few years before that. And I'm like, my lung function, wasn't where it needed to be, and I wasn't taking the new medicine back then. So I'm like, I don't even know if I can finish a race like this. So I started training a little bit, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can do this. And I finished, and I was like, okay, I'm in love. Like, I really enjoyed it. So I'm like, okay, I know I finished this. I'm like, they have more of these. I'm gonna do more. In 2017, I got my first trifecta. It was actually my goal next year, in 2019, to do the West Virginia trifecta weekend. But I had trained so much, and I felt ready this year. So at the last minute, I decided to sign up for the whole weekend down in West Virginia. And you get a special medal if you did all 3 in that weekend. That's the whole reason I wanted to do it, because I wanted that medal. And I did it. I was tired and I was whooped, but it felt good. Like, it was just a sense of accomplishment. Yeah, we all sign up underneath of a team called the Steel City Spartans, so that you can run together. They put you on a time slot, and if you're in a team, they put you in the same time slot. So when you're in the open heats, you can help each other. If you need help with an obstacle, they can help you a little bit. Whereas if you're running in the competitive, you cannot help anybody. Because if you miss an obstacle, there's a penalty of 30 burpees, which is just no fun to do. Every day on Facebook, I see another CFer who has passed away, and they're young. And it's usually the people who have what they call them double deltas. And it seems like they have like every problem there is with cystic fibrosis. And a lot of times it seems like to me that they pass away a lot sooner. I'm resistant to a ton of medications because they pumped me full of antibiotics I didn't need back then. So now my infections that I have in my lungs, they don't respond to a lot of medications. So I'm limited on my choices at this point. You know, I know some people who get severely depressed over it, and I'm like, why? It is what it is. You know, am I going to die at an early age? Probably. You know, am I going to dwell on it? No. I'm going to live my life and do what I want to do now while I can, until I can't. You know, I mean, like I said earlier, I see the people on Facebook. I see them deteriorating all the time. You know, it's scary, but it's life. You know, it's my life. I didn't know that much about cystic fibrosis. After the woman told me down in Morgantown that this is what I might have, I did a lot of research on it. And of course I got in my own head and started freaking out really bad. Because, you know, I read about, you know, at that time I think the average lifespan then was, I want to think 38 maybe, or 37. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm 25 at this time, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, I could die like in the next few years. I'm like, you know, so I really got freaked out about it. And I was like, you know, am I ever going to be able to be normal again? And after I got my diagnosis, then I was like, okay, I have to just get that out of my head. And I have to do what I need to do to be me. You know, I can't let it run my life. I mean, yes, I do lots of treatments and stuff, but I still try to have a life other than my cystic fibrosis.